God damn it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to Critical Botch, the only show where I get interrupted before I even get to fucking talk by these munchkins. Joining me today, as per the usual for this game, we have Dalred, Thomas K, Lila, and Zequan L. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Why?
He said hi, guys.
Whatever. It's like you said exactly what I said, but whatever. Great start for this episode.
I think we're all pretty well in sync, so this is actually a good thing.
Probably, yeah. Alright. So, where we last left off in this interesting little campaign we had going here, the party had just stumbled upon a small little mining settlement, if I'm remembering my details of it correctly, called Addleton, which is to the south-ish of the mansion you guys just left, and we're still in pursuit of Char, the knight who you encountered
destroyed, right?
What?
The mansion that we basically destroyed.
Yes, I'm sure Kara is thrilled by that. But, yeah. So that's what happened last time. You had just stumbled on the town. You hadn't entered it yet. You were still a couple of hours outside of it. For sake of simplicity, I'm not going to try and remember what time of day it was where we last left off and just say it's middle of the day right now. So, if there's any...
Go around noon, yeah.
Yeah, around
It was around noon, yeah.
Alright, good. That means I'm not cuckoo.
Well, you are cuckoo, but it has nothing to do with this.
You be quiet. Now then. Shh, they don't need to know. Alright. Alright, so, with all of that said, I'm pretty sure we all already know what the very first action of this game is going to be this session.
What's that precisely?
Roll initiative?
No, not roll initiative. Alright, I'm looking at your nameplate in the Roll20 room.
Yeah, so?
Don't you have something you want to do?
Well, yes. I do not know precisely if those on the interwebs of YouTube are aware that the group officially leveled last session.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and fill them in on that. Last session, we leveled up. Okay, they're filled in.
Yay, that was easy.
Yeah, everyone's level 2 now.
As it stands, level 2 for Warlock, Nalalia has Eyes of the Rune Keeper, which allows her to read any writing. The paper that we got that was sort of illegible and we couldn't really
It was all scribbled out, yeah.
Yeah, it was all scribbled out and we couldn't make sense of what it said. Does still technically count as writing. So, having achieved level 2 and have the capability to understand written texts and whatnot to such a degree, the start of this session, I guess, is Nalalia looking at the taking another look at the paper from before we, like, as we get up from camp or something or another. She's sort of looking over it, and anyone who sees her looking at it sees it now. As she's looking at it, she's got like this bluish purple aura thing going on in her eyes as she's looking at it. Yeah, basically.
I did a cell phone vibration noise. Your eyes turned into cell phones, apparently. Bluetooth eyes, it's canon now. No, not really. Alright, Dart, I went ahead and gave you a handout, so you can go ahead and find that and read it off in your own time, because I don't want to read it off until you've read it and are able to convey the information to everyone else. If you have a hard time reading what any words are, just ask me.
Let me see here. People can carry on and do other stuff, so I'm not entirely silent.
Okay.
But,
I'm just walking to the town. In fact, I might not even see the town. Do I see the town?
You all know the town is there. We've been over this.
Okay, because I might... Where did the town go?
Akara jabs with his beak in the direction of the town, says, Open your eyes, look that way.
Oh,
Go.
I missed it for a second. For those of you, do we still need to read off our rolls?
It would be nice. I still need to set up the visual that tells everyone what rolls we get as we get them. I haven't done that yet. It's been a lazy week.
Okay. I just rolled a 4 on my perception.
Yeah, so thank goodness I'm vetoing that you don't need to roll that.
Well, I'm following him. Let's see if he's actually in the town.
All right. So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was marching on adrenaline last night. Why are we here again?
We are looking for our friend Char. He lost his plate mail and I wanna give it back to him.
Well, yeah, I know we were chasing Char, but how do we know he's here?
The trail. We are following his blood trail.
I thought we lost the trail at the crossroads.
We did. So basically we have a 50-50.
Oh. Well, I'm dying to... Oh yeah, I'm dying to try their mushroom soup here, so...
I forgot that was a thing.
I forgot that was the thing too, now I remember it. It was the forced march that we did throughout the night yesterday. I have small memory. My memory is a little bit addled right now.
Makes sense.
Are you guys coming?
Sure. Let's go.
Vashtin is remaining behind while Nalalia is reading, most likely taking a nap, because as mentioned previously, that was a very long march we took.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a long rest. After
Hello,
the line
are you
attack.
coming?
Although, how is he taking a nap and following?
Oh, I thought Nalalia
Sleepwalking.
was remaining behind while reading, or are you reading and walking?
Yeah, she's pulling the whole, walking with nose in text thing. And she looks up temporarily every once in a while to make sure she's not running into something, but she is reading and moving, so...
Alright, brain dead, tired march it is. Vashtin trails along behind.
Well, we had a long rest last night. We slept for 8 hours.
In the middle
Still
of the
tired.
wilderness without a
Got
proper bed.
interrupted partway through.
Yeah.
Really? We did?
Oh, wait, not
Yeah.
the last one, but, the night before there was the lion and everything, and I'm sure you slept very well being unconscious, but...
Wait, so that was real?
No, of course it wasn't.
Inconsistency here.
Why? Why did I have to tell him the truth? Why? And I tried to
You
walk
guys-
a little bit faster.
You guys killed the defenseless lion? You guys actually killed it?
No!
Yeah,
we
we had-
Akira
got
snorts.
away.
Akira snorts. Defenseless. Right. And he sags with irritation.
Maybe he doesn't know the word defenseless, what it actually means.
Quite possible. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it.
No, you see, defenseless was you that night against the lion.
Oh, that's harsh. True, but harsh.
Well, I was
True,
trying to
sometimes.
heal the lion. He attacked it unprovoked.
Were you awake that night? No. The lion
Yes.
came up, he attacked me, I woke you up. The only thing you saw was me fighting with the lion and you started healing the lion.
It's because you attacked... Maybe it was just hungry. We could have just given it some meat.
Yeah, it was hungry, it wanted to eat us.
We could have given
If we
it some
run
meat,
into
and then-
another lion, I have meat that I can give it.
Oh, we could have given that meat to the other lion.
You know what? Next time I will wake you up and you can deal with the lion.
Okay.
Akira just sort of face
We'll
palms
see
his
how
wings.
this works out.
Okay, they're so mean.
Yeah, I love it. I freaking love it. All right.
And Nalalia is sort of finished reading. She's like rolled up the paper and slipped it into her bag, and she just carries on towards the mining town without really making any sort of reference to, as if she didn't really notice the conversation about the lion. I mean, she did say, of course not in reference to the attacking the lion, but that was sort of just an aside of what she heard. Paying attention to their conversation? Nope.
All right. Well, no.
Is the line okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll stop by sometime later.
Oh, what's that mean?
Oh, the lion's fine. I'm sure we'll just all be great friends.
Well, it won't be friends with you after you heard it.
But you healed it, remember?
Yeah, but
It'll at
I
least be
guess.
friends.
Just take your hug.
It'll at least be friends with you.
I guess. Pan is just going to trail behind, confused.
Every time. All right.
So to the mining town.
Yep. So you march for a little while, or walk for a little while rather, and you eventually enter into Addleton proper. The construction of the settlement is, it's pretty rudimentary, basic village stuff. It's not exactly a big settlement. Predominantly, there are patches of forestation around, not like thick, full forest, but there are patches of shrubbery and trees all over the place. So the majority of the buildings are comprised of stone and wood as their architectural constructing thing. I fucked up that sentence worse than I fucked up myself this morning. Why did I say that?
We don't know.
Neither do I. Let's forget I ever said it and keep going.
Okay.
Rewind.
Yes, exactly. Right. So,
Do we see anyone?
you see a few commoners moving about. There's what looks like a mill a little ways down, and it's making some noises.
I want to go to one of the commoners and ask him, "You there? Have you seen a Dragonborn coming through this town? A couple days ago?"
Let's see. The commoner thinks for a moment. Turns out it's a fellow dwarf.
Ah,
He thinks for a moment, stroking his beard before saying, "Rightly, I can't say I have. It's possible I missed him, though. I had to take an early night last night. And,
Oh.
and I haven't really been paying much attention. Work in the mines and all that."
do you know anybody who would know this sort of stuff?
The only person I can think of would probably be the local innkeeper. She hears all sorts of stuff, sees all sorts of people. And even if she hasn't seen the person you're looking for, odds are she's at least heard about him. We don't get very many
Okay.
people passing through here. Usually it's just the common traders coming and going with the supplies.
And do you have a good smith in this town here?
A good smithy. Well, not one dedicated to arms or armament, mostly just one for breaking down materials and isolating the items of value from the raw stone.
All right. Well then, thank you.
By any chance, does the name Char mean anything to you?
Give me a second here. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, it does. Why?
We met him along the road, and he said he was someone famous, and I don't really believe him. Who is he? I'm not from around here.
Well, as so happens, he's one of the knights under our king. He's not the highest-ranking knight. He's sort of trying to work his way up, to my knowledge. But I don't get out of this town very much, so that might be outdated information. What I do know is that he oftentimes strives to keep law and order in his areas.
Ah. Thank you so much for that information.
You are welcome. I hate to cut this off short, but I really must be getting on my way. I have work to do
Alright.
and all that, so farewell.
Nice talking to you.
He nods and carries on.
Is there perhaps a like some sort of a map, or what can Nalalia get from looking around? Can she see any like well-defined named places or anything like that?
Well-defined named places, you said?
Like, yeah, does she see like a tavern or like anything of importance in the town?
The most notable thing you see is a general goods store. Though the sign is faded, you can only tell by the symbol of like a bag with a bunch of different items strewn about it on the sign that it's a general goods store, or at least something approximating that. There's an office building, what looks like one anyways, that's probably where all the paperwork is handled. And then there's the inn on the opposite end of the street from that. It's not a big settlement, as I said.
Right.
I'm going to glance around and check the population demographics. Should I roll perception for that?
Either that or investigation, but I'll leave
Alright.
that one up to you. Someone just dropped from the Skype call. Oh yeah, Thomas just dropped from the Skype call. Thomas, you back? No, not yet.
Yeah, here, I'll roll my perception.
Oh, lovely.
Someone keep an eye on Thomas's thing out there, alright? An 18 in
Alright.
perception, got it. Alright. Well,
There he is.
and
Hello.
He it sounded like he hopped in and then disappeared again. And
Yep.
He's back again.
And he's gone again. What the hell, Skype? Stop it!
It's a monster.
Better. If it keeps persisting, we'll pause the recording and try to fix it. I mean, I'm pretty relaxed about all this. But anyways, so let's see here. There is, as far as the population goes, it's definitely smaller than the last big settlement you are at, which was Wayrest. Wayrest had a fairly sizable population, and in its own right was a pretty sizable town, not big enough to be considered a city. But this is more like an above-average-sized village at best.
Am I the only human here?
From what you can see, yes, but you can only see like maybe a dozen or so people out and about from this area.
All right.
Well, what do we do? Do we go to the tavern first, or anyone? Any bright ideas?
Does
Well.
does the tavern have a
Is there a healer? Is there a healer in this village?
If
Does
there,
it
if there is, you cannot see it from here.
okay.
what's the tavern like? Does the tavern have a name?
The giant's footprint.
Okie dokie. So
Let's
mm,
I'm
wanna-
gonna go. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I kind of want to roll history for like anything that Nolalia might know after having read the note thing about the different locations and/or people
Sure.
that were mentioned in the note.
Right.
I guess history would work, or would something else work?
Probably history. Which thing specifically are you looking for?
Like if she knows anything about either the rat's breeding nest or the tipsy imp, most
Okay.
likely, is what I'm looking for.
All right.
Yay! I know nothing.
You are able to guess that the tipsy imp is probably an inn or tavern, and you're also able to make an educated guess that assumes that the rat's breeding nest is a disgusting place.
Okay.
Huh.
So let's see. There's nothing he knew of Char, and he mentioned that he was like a knight or something. So Nalalia is going to wander into the tavern and see if she can find anybody in there that may or may not know more about Char.
Alright.
Also, if he was a knight for what main city? Because this is a smaller town, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty small town. The main city he was for was, well, I suppose you'd have to roll another history check for that.
But didn't he say who he was a knight for?
He said where he's from based on his title, not what he's not where he, not what he governs.
Grr with the erg.
All right, a 12 on history.
That's supposed to be my skill. Darn it! Why do I keep rolling crap?
I don't know.
It's always frustrating when the only thing you actually can do and you still mess it up.
Right?
Constantly, the dice hate me with this. Anyway,
You're not sure. You think it's probably somewhere in the southern half of Dunmall from your vague memory, but you can't remember which specific city.
okay. So yeah, into the tavern. See if there's anybody in there.
All right. Well,
And I guess people have now, those have seen Nalalia now was looking at the paper. She's folded it up and put it away, so she's not going to outwardly say that she's read it, but those around could probably assume that she did.
right.
Well, I rolled a 4 on perception. I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stepping into the tavern, the giant's footprint. It's got a very gently lit ambience, ambient lighting, mostly from a fireplace in the back that sort of burnt itself out since last night. And there's most of the light right now is coming into the windows.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't a whole lot of people inside right now, just one or two scattered here and there. One of them has his arm in a sling. Looks as though he might have suffered some sort of work-related injury and is just here to drink away that. And the lady behind the counter is actually a tiefling.
Ooh.
She looks like you. She saw another tiefling.
Wandered up to the barkeep.
She looks up at you and gives a nod. Hello, what can I get for you?
You sound almost like a Kara.
Akara's more like this, a bit more eccentric and energetic. This person's much more quietly spoken.
Oh, okay. You sound like a Kara when he's tired.
No, this is Akara when he's tired.
Oh.
I'm good with voices, what can I say?
You really are. It's nuts.
It is pretty good.
Thanks.
So,
is there a healer, medic type person around here?
I actually got to roll to figure out if there is really quick. I didn't know you were going to pursue that. Alright, so the tiefling lady taps her chin from over saying, yes. Doesn't get a whole lot of business, though. Other street over from here. Should be pretty easy to find, hard to miss. It's the biggest building on that street.
Oh.
Nalalia looks over to the miner or whatever who was got his arm in a sling, and she looks back to the tiefling barkeep and she's like, well, you say that the healer doesn't get a lot of work around here. I guess your mines stay pretty well safe.
For the most part,
And-
yes. I mean, we do have the occasional tunnel collapse, but that's very rare. Let's just be clear on that.
Did a Dragonborn visit the healers in the past few days?
Well, I wouldn't know if any Dragonborn visited the healers, as I haven't had reason to go over there.
Well,
So maybe
thank you for your
Maybe they
information.
visit here, perhaps.
What was that, Doran?
Did
Well,
they
she
visit
would've-
here?
Well, she would have mentioned something if.
Well, I have heard the occasional mutterings of a Dragonborn passing through, but I myself never saw him.
Huh. Thank you for your information.
Anything else?
Oh, yes. Do you by any chance have any mushroom soup?
She beams. Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. I warn you, even though it tastes delicious, it has a tendency to get old quick, so don't eat too much of it. And that's part of the reason why there's not as much now as there used to be. Not as much of a demand.
Well,
Then 2 bowls of your finest mushroom soup, then.
Finest. Out of character, since I'm still trying to get used to like the pricing system in D&D 5th edition, what do you think would be a reasonable price or something like that?
How big is the mushroom soup?
Like a bowl.
Okay, that's it's a couple of silver. Like a feast is 5 gold, but that's a feast.
Alright.
But then if we go into trade goods, isn't a chicken like 2 copper?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's about the quality of the food. So
But she
somewhere
did
between
say it
5
wasn't.
and 10 copper.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, so is this good or bad mushrooms?
It's renowned for being good, but it's not exactly in high demand right now.
Okay, so a couple of
Let's just say 2 silver and call it good.
yeah, 2 silver would be nice.
Alright. So, she nods and says, Alright, how many bowls would that be?
I can't count.
I'll have 1.
4, I guess.
1, 4.
And a beer for me, please.
How much is a beer?
Yeah, 4.
I don't know.
Good question, but I put down 1 gold, so that should cover the food and a beer.
That should cover everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Her eyes widen for a second before going back to her. She's like, Alright, are you going to want your change back with that?
No, you can keep it.
Yeah, keep the change.
Alright. I'll bring it out to you in a moment. Have a seat. And then she sort of meanders in over towards the kitchen-like area in the back.
Nalalia then sits down and at like a table or whatever, and unless somebody speaks to her or says anything, she's gonna like she just wants sort of a break from the craziness that had happened before.
Alright.
Even though they did rest, she just wants to sort of unwind a little bit, and unlike what would happen with the dwarf, where unwinding would be probably drinking and stuff, her unwinding is sitting in a quiet tavern with a book.
Right.
Oh, you figured out my character.
Alright. Alright, well, so I assume everyone is sitting at this table then?
I'm
Yep.
making small talk with
Right.
the barkeeper.
Well, she went into the back to
Oh,
the
she did?
kitchen-y stuff, so she's presently not within talking range.
Okay, well,
So,
I'm making
What do you guys-
making small talk with the most interesting character currently in the bar.
To your
Let's make
character, I think that would actually be Nalalia.
Oh, I meant.
Unless, of course, you mean the person with the arm in the sling.
Who do I see around the bar with a 5 in perception?
All of a sudden, you think you're alone.
You only have eyes for Nalalia.
Yes.
For like a second, for like 5 seconds, you think you're alone, and then everyone just sort of poofs back into existence for you. It's like, where am I? Where is everyone? Oh, there you are. Sort of thing.
What? Whoa.
Bro.
He's doing it
What?
again. Oh my god.
I think I suffered a bad bump on the head. Getting oh. For a second there, I thought you guys all disappeared.
Perhaps when
Yeah,
we
it's
check
all
with
agreed.
the healer, we should have you checked out as well.
Probably.
Nalalia looks up from like the book that she has, and she's, Pan, you're fine. We're fine. You just need a chance to relax, just as much as I do. Just sit down. And she
Oh,
pats like
are
the
we
chair
gonna-
next door she's at.
What do you guys think? Should we stay here in this town for a bit? Couple of days? Or
Maybe
I wanna-
maybe look into the healer and see if he's seen
yeah.
Char, and if he has, then if they have, then perhaps we can go from there. But the town is much safer than out in the wilds, and I think some of us,
good night's
It-
rest
I've had
won't hurt.
yeah, in an actual bed would be
Yeah.
very nice.
If the healer has seen Char, I may have a way to regain the trail so we could track him again.
Good.
That is entirely possible.
All right.
As it stands, though, I would say that at least staying and relaxing in the tavern here for a moment at least would be good. I think we all need a little bit of rest, except maybe you.
Sure.
And then she looks at the door.
Yeah, but I still have some other stuff to do. Looking at the plate mail in my backpack. I need to fix that thing.
Well, do you want to fix it to make use of that armor, or to get your own armor out of it, or do you
Well,
have some other? Because
it's a bit
they
too
have
big for me.
if they have right, if they have a smithy, perhaps he could melt it down into something that you could use.
Yeah. Basically, I only need to resize it and fix that little part here that I broke. I can do that myself, though. I only need to have access to the smith. So after I finish this soup and my beer, I'm off to see him and see if I can work out a deal or something.
What we could do is we've all been traveling for a bit this past traveling hard for this past week. We could take a day or two and all just do what we relax. Besides, it's not like Char's going anywhere.
Indeed.
He's just running it as fast as he can to somewhere, and we're not going to catch him.
Yeah. That's true.
What is your tactic for finding the trail again if the healer knows him? Is it something more than scent, or what's your idea?
Well, in a way, you're right. It is scent. It's an old druidic art. I haven't done it myself personally, but I know the general details of how it's done. I could take on the form of something with a much superior sense of smell.
I see.
Okay.
And for something like that, do you think the trail would potentially quickly go cold?
Well, it hasn't
Or
rained
do
in
you
the
think
last
that
few days.
you could find a trail?
I think I could
Perhaps
follow
that
the
is-
trail until it rains or until he crosses water.
Right. I still think rest for at least a little while would be fine. Although staying and resting here for all of that, if we don't find anything about Char, wouldn't recommend. I would rather go to a perhaps bigger village.
What do we know about? Can I just do a basic history check or we all do a basic history check to see what we know about the kingdom as a whole, or is it general knowledge? Like, is the king?
I prefer to have specific questions because that way I can narrow down what I myself know. Because I improvise a lot on a lot of this stuff. Asking me a really general question is like asking me to throw myself into a spike trap.
Okay.
Either way,
So-
I'm gonna die.
Is the okay? So the king. Do we know if is like a tyrant type king or a benevolent ruler? Do we know if the kingdom itself is for sacrificing dragons, against sacrificing dragons? Like, this would be stuff that I feel like I would know as a character, but I don't know as well right now.
So do we want to roll history for that?
If you guys want, you can.
Yay! Let's hope that I actually roll something decent this time.
I got a 12.
Okay, so I have not rolled 3 times all below A. Not even going to add my.
Haha!
Nice.
Finally!
Noalia knows everything about the subject.
Probably because she's been here a while.
Probably.
She reads all the time.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool, give me just a second here. Because I'm going to have to write this shit down so I don't forget it as I'm telling you about it. Alright, ask me your first question, and I will start bulleting it out and telling you about it as I'm doing so.
Okay, so is this a tyranny type of place, or is it like a good king, bad king? What do we know about the kingdom?
Dunmall itself has a relatively benevolent ruler. I mean, he is prone to mistakes and corruption, as is any human being, or just humanoid in this setting, I guess would be the right word. You know, just as any person, he makes mistakes. He's not perfect, and everyone is well aware of this. He's made some pretty bad mistakes in the past. Yeah. So that's the basis of the king. It's not a tyranny, but it's not a utopia. It's it still has its pretty glaring flaws.
Okay.
So it's a straight up king, but it's not like a dictator or a tyrant or anything like that.
Pretty much.
He's just more generic king. Okay. And what was his stake on the whole trying to sacrifice the dragons, trying to stop the sacrifice of the dragons and all that? Is he pro-dragon or against dragons?
His viewpoint is that while he does not necessarily approve of the sacrificing of dragons, and while he is dedicating a lot of resources to trying to find an alternative method, at present he has yet to find anything even approximating that. So until he can find something like that, pretty much like the rest of the world, he's having to sort of bow down, so to speak, to the universal need to sacrifice dragons until an alternative can be found. So he doesn't like it, but he has to do the sacrificing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he has
Okay.
made this opinion publicly known.
Is there a is he truly in power? The question I'm getting at here on total is, if it's a benevolent king, how does an expedition like Char's happen, where you go in and you're either wrecking a village or you're backstabbing your own teammates? Like, we're assuming because Char is from what was the capital again?
I forget the name, and I'm in my OneNotes right now. So, but it's on the map.
Whiteport.
Whiteport.
So Char's from Whiteport. We learned that earlier. So, how does an expedition like his happen? Is my card making any sense?
You're making perfect sense, though. I think you've got some of your information mixed up here. I
Okay.
don't think Char ever said he came from Whiteport. That's where the king is.
I thought last time.
Was
Okay.
this
Char
correct?
claimed to us that he was returning the information he was gathering to Whiteport.
Oh.
Though I am taking everything he said with a grain of salt.
Probably wise.
Okay. So you didn't say. Okay, Char's claimed to say that he.
Yeah.
All right.
Granted, also the dwarf from before did mention that Char, from what he knew, worked as a knight of some sort, and if he is a knight for the other king, then that still would also somewhat apply. But I also think that it's also reasonable to think that there might be somebody else in underneath the wings with the king, because if he's benevolent and all that, and if he falls victim to corruption often, there has to be someone there to corrupt him,
That's
Yeah.
true.
so to speak. So I mean, and Noali is just the type of person who always thinks there's more to what's going on anyway. So even if this isn't true, she thinks it's true.
Right. Any other questions we need to go over about the kingdom as a whole?
Don't think so. Unless anybody
is
else.
it just-
One more.
Okay.
What is the relationship this kingdom has with other kingdoms?
That is a very variable answer, and as I do not as yet have a world map or political map of the rest of the world, I cannot give an accurate answer on that yet. All I can say for sure is that Dunmall, the kingdom you're in, is not presently at war with anyone.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Or
It's
maybe
not
they
at,
were.
yeah, it's not at present at war with anyone right now.
Okay.
But like anything in a political situation, that's subject to change.
Okay.
So, since she wanted to read, and we've been over this and all this, I sort of picture that if this is a TV show, this is that point when the show
On the what?
When the way.
does like the exposition dump, and Nalali is just like reading over one of her history books, and she's seeing all this kind of crap. And she may even tell that to some of them if they're willing to listen to her drone on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yes. Halfway through the what's her face? The waitress comes back
Yeah, with the food.
with
Yeah.
the food.
Yeah. By the time you're all sort of finished collectively talking about what you know about the kingdom, you have your mushroom soup and your one beer at the table.
It's delicious.
It is. It is delicious,
Yeah, the
but
beer isn't bad.
yeah. The mushroom soup is pretty damn good. Though you can't place why, but you can see how some people might find it getting old after a while. But for first time consuming it, you can definitely taste it's pretty damn good. Let's see.
It probably has like some. It probably has some sort of really, really good icing or spices to it or something like that. And then at the same time, it's kind of like grits or oatmeal or something. So if you eat it too much, it's sort of bleh.
That is a perfect way to describe it. Because I used to eat oatmeal a lot, now I just straight up can't. It's so boring to me now.
Exactly.
Oatmeal is like one of the few foods that I refuse to eat, but not because of flavor or texture, just because it's just straight up boring.
Nice.
And I think soup as a food can do the same thing.
Soups are very variable when you get right down to it. But we're getting
Yeah.
off topic. Let's get back to the game, shall we?
Well,
Yes, yes.
Alright, so it's at about this point that you all notice that Akira has not been saying anything for a while.
I did?
What?
I don't seem to be the person to notice that.
I'm taking your passive perception into consideration. While I don't remember exactly what it is, this isn't exactly something that's hard. This isn't something that's easy to miss. Or whatever. You notice it, okay? Let's just
Want
roll
some
with that.
soup, Akira?
What?
Want some soup, Akira?
It's as you turn to look where you believe Akira was that you realize he's not actually there.
Oh. Wait. Where did Akira go?
Lying somewhere. Maybe it's trying to find something to eat.
Well, we had soup.
Maybe he doesn't
Have you ever
like
tried to
soup.
feed a bird soup?
Vashton gets up to go and stand out in the street and glance around for Akara.
Alright. Alright. That is an
When he goes, I try to steal his soup. I'm a hungry dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So, Vashton, you rolled damn fine on that perception check. That's a 23 in total. That
Yep.
23 will pretty much clarify that you see that up in the air there are, there's a few crows all over the place, and, a few ravens and other types of birds just flying here and there occasionally. They're chirping in the trees. And you note, as you're looking up, that one of the crows has another one flying right next to it, and they're sort of cawing at each other repeatedly. Then after a moment, the one on the left looks down towards you, and then swoops down, and you recognize it as Akara as it comes to a landing.
Was that a friend of yours?
I wish it was. Very nice fellow. But no, I was actually just trying to find some information. The local birds might have seen more with their higher point of view than most of the individuals here. From what I understand and what little I've seen, just about everyone in the settlement is usually in the mines or doing work inside. So it's quite possible that charm might have come through at some point, and no one noticed. I'm just trying to see if any of the birds made note of our red dragonborn friend.
A sound plan. Has it borne any fruit?
Not yet, but I've only hit a few birds in the time I've been looking. Most of them, I guess, can smell, I suppose, the magic that was imbued with me to make me what I am now, and, well, they don't like that. So they put some distance.
Want some soup?
He does the bird equivalent of raising an eyebrow before saying, "Soup. You want me to eat soup? A bird who doesn't have proper mouth control. My jaw just hinges up and down. I don't even know how I'm talking like this." It's a fair question.
So
Yeah.
is it a yes or no?
Anyways, Akara just sort of face palms or something. I'm thinking about this too hard. Sure, why not? I could use a bit of a break. My wings are tired.
When you come back, I finished all the soup.
Yes. Roll a stealth check, actually, Tordek, to see if he can tell whether or not it was you.
Well, still, let's see. Hey, I got a 16.
Okay. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
Vashton would need to counter that with a perception, though, wouldn't he?
Investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Notice the
investigation.
soup is
yeah,
gone.
investigation because it already happened.
Yeah.
I have no idea where my soup went.
The sneaky dwarf.
So, like, you show up, you look around, it's like, where the hell did my soup go?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They probably saw my unattended bowl and just took it away, assuming I'd left.
Looks like the bowl's still there, it's just empty.
The great mysteries of our time.
You already finished it? Well, since everybody's just chilling, I'm going to see the smith of the town.
I'm going to go pay the healer a visit.
Eulalia will stand up and follow Pan to the healer.
Vashton will also follow to the healer.
Okay. I guess...
She's gonna hang with Pan.
Okay. Alright. In that case, I guess we'll handle a Tordek's interaction first and just sort of get that one out of the way.
Sure.
Yep.
What do I see?
You see a smithy.
Do I see the smith somewhere?
The blacksmith is at present looking to be melting down some stone and other whatnot to get to the raw materials inside, sort of distilling the cool materials from the mundane gray stone. It's a pretty
Hey there,
interesting...
my friend. Yeah.
Alright, so let's hear what race is this guy. Yeah, fuck it, let's make it a half elf.
Half a blacksmith. Oh my god. Yeah.
Why not?
Dwarven racism.
At
If
least
he isn't
this
a
way you don't
dwarven
have to do
smith,
a
he
weird
can't
accent
be
work.
good.
Yeah, so the half elf looks up, wipes some sweat off of his brow and says, "Oh, hello. What can I do for you?"
I have a little small problem. I have a plate mail with me. It's a little bit broken and a bit too big for me. Can you help me repair it and resize it so it fits me? And I show him the piece of armor.
He looks it over for a moment before saying, "I suppose I could. The problem is this forge isn't exactly equipped for that sort of blacksmithing. I can try, I can do my best, but I make no guarantees and we might very well break it. So just bear that in
Well,
mind."
I'm okay with that. Let's try it.
He pauses for a second while looking at the armor before nodding and says, "Yes, let's. I could use something a bit different from just distilling ores anyway."
If you need help, then I'm also somewhat proficient with smithing stuff. So maybe we can work together on this piece of armor.
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Since I'm actually proficient.
That wouldn't be a bad thing, actually. My mentor is currently out doing some work in the mines himself, so in case you couldn't tell, I'm not actually the head of this blacksmithing forge. I'm almost ready to be independent, but at this point I'm still technically an apprentice.
Well, then let's see if we can get this thing the way I want it.
Indeed. Alright. So I have no idea how we would roll to figure out how that goes.
I don't know, proficiency with smithing tools. Normal D20.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, don't fuck me over, don't fuck me over. Hey, it's an 18.
Indeed. Alright, so we'll come back to you on that.
Okay.
So let's jump back over to the rest of the party. So if Pan left first, I assume he's going to march into the healers first.
Yep.
Alright, so you step in, look around a bit, and let's see here. You see a gnome lady, surprisingly enough, behind the counter, standing up on a stool, and she's she's elderly. It's pretty clear. She has gray hair, and her eyes are closed, and she's just sort of feeling along the counter for something. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Hello?
She jumps up and goes, "Oh, hello."
Hey. I was wondering if you've seen a friend of mine. He's another dragonborn like me, but bigger and red.
Halfway through your statement, she picks up a stick and smacks you on top of the head. And the stick was resting on top of the counter, by the way. "I'm blind, you dope! I haven't seen a thing."
Have you treated anyone recently?
Well, I treated a man who broke his arm in the mines, but beyond that, no.
Alright.
What were you looking for?
She looks around for someone saying, "Oh, funnily enough, I found it." She holds up the stick.
Nalia is going to look around her healer shop. Is there anything of importance or note? I mean, does it look like an apothecary kind of thing, or does it look like a priest, or what kind of healer are we talking here?
looks mostly like mostly apothecary. It's not a magically inclined place. It's mostly like herbs and like just pretty standard non-magical healing.
Okay.
Some of the sophistication of some of the healing items kind of befuddles you a little bit. Like, it looks like there are a few contraptions that you just cannot make out what the hell they're for at all.
Okay, I'm definitely going to investigate those items and see if I can figure them out.
Okay.
That's the wrong thing to say referring to her, and she has no clue it's a 7.
Yeah, you think one of these things is automated, but beyond that you can't tell for sure.
I'm rubbing my head because it hurt.
Right? She smacked you on top of the head with a stick. Of course it hurts.
Oh.
Who she thinks she is, Rafiki? Sheesh. Nalalia will like shake her head from not being able to figure out the like different little
Gizmos.
gizmos and whatnot, and she'll just sort of pat Pan on the head and be like, "You'll be all right." Now, you said you didn't heal or assist anyone other than the man from the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how recently did he get hurt?
Just within the last week. It was a pretty serious break, and beyond me to fully fix it, immediately at least, I was able to put it roughly into place and put him in a cast so that I could heal the rest of the way, but, you know.
Do you know what it was that happened?
He explained the whole thing to me, even though I quite diligently asked him not to explain all the details. I don't necessarily like to go into the stories of my patients just as long as I know enough to heal the wound, but either way, what basically happened, to my knowledge, is that there was a small collapse in one of the smaller tunnels he was in, and it more or less broke his arm when he tried to run out. Some of the stone fell on top of his arm as he was running. Pinned him for a little bit too. Took quite a bit of manpower to move all the rocks so he could get out again.
She is going to avoid saying what automatically comes to her mind of, "I see." And she is going to just sort of nod and then look to Pan. Well, it doesn't seem like that your friend was here.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for your help anyways. Do you know of a place we can stay?
Well, yeah, the inn and tavern you just left.
Oh, it's an inn and a tavern?
Yes.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
To be fair, Pan probably wouldn't know that.
To be fair, yeah.
I'm still getting used to this, so...
So Pan says, "Do you know a place that we could stay?" And then she probably sort of gets this. I don't know what sort of expression, but before she even says anything, Nalalia is like, "We can stay in the Giant's Footprint Tavern. It'll also be an inn that we can rest in as well."
Really?
But yes, and she just sort of smiles and. It's almost like she is tempted to roll her eyes at his naivety, but she just sort of stops. And she's just, "Yes, we will be able to rest there, and in the morning we will figure out some other means to look for your friend." And she's sort of gesturing towards the door. She doesn't know if she can get anything else out of the healer.
Huh.
And then she turns back as they leave. If everybody follows her, and she's like, "It was nice talking to you, Miss."
Oh, indeed. I don't recognize your voices, so I can only assume you're new here.
Yes, we're just passing through. And then
Well,
she
look-
leaves.
Enjoy your stay while you're here. She calls after you just before the door closes.
Boston immediately begins sprinting, trying to get to where Tordak is.
Sprinting.
Yep, sprinting. Fast as he can.
Where is he going?
Probably after Voshton.
Alright.
Much like you, I don't have any interest in his armaments in the smithy. I'm surprised he's going, because isn't Voshton the druid?
Yes, Vashtin is the
Yes.
druid. Tordek is the guy in the smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eulalia just sort of raises an eyebrow as he goes, and it's like, I'm assuming he's going after Voshton, but we don't have to. We can go to the inn and rest if you like.